here on City Island for this afternoon's contest between Christendom and your Central Penn College Knights. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. As we honor America with the singing of the national anthem by Newport Elementary second grader Josie Dobbs. Josie is a field hockey and softball player who loves watching Kyle Schwarber from your Philadelphia Phillies. And today she is excited to cheer on our player number 27, Cam Smiley.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rockets red the bomb bursting gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Josie Dobbs.
All right, what a beautiful day for baseball. For those of you out there, we apologize for the delay, out of our control, but alas, we play baseball. Paul Miller and Parker Rose here with you. We're also going to be hearing later on from Hall of Famer also, Tyler Coleman. So this is going to be a great Sunday afternoon.
Is number 27, Cameron Smiley.
Of course, Smiley, one of our best pitchers on the season. We've got to see Cam start quite a few times, but on the season, Cam Smiley's coming into today with 34 innings pitched and a 2.65 ERA with 30 strikeouts and 30 innings. So Parker, certainly our ace going today for the Knights.
Absolutely, Paul, and that will be the key. One of the keys to the game for a Knights victory here in Game 1 is for Cam Smiley to come out here and have a great game on the quality start on the mound. Obviously, we also need some offense. We've seen during the year that the Knights put up a lot of runs. They put up 32 in one game, and other games we have pitching duels. So let's see if the Knights offense come alive early to help secure a victory early and help Cam Smiley here on the mound.
Well, the Knights are coming off of a heartbreaking loss at Notre Dame of Maryland University, 12-11. The Knights did put up 5 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th, but came up short. Wyatt Kozer took the loss in that game, but Tanner McCoy, 4 for 5 and 3 RBI. Nic Joseph, 2 for 3, 3 RBIs and 3 walks. Only retired once on the day, kept the Knights in it, but they just could not get that game. And all of those games outside of the conference are so important, Parker, when it comes to eligibility for the Small College World Series. So the Knights, they let one get away from them. Let's just say that.
Absolutely, and today is a big matchup with a conference rival here, Christendom, 11-6 in the Knights, 9-8 is Christendom. So if Central Penn could get one, but obviously we want two for today, Paul, to help them not only in the conference, but also for the Small College World Series bid.
Well, and earlier in the season, the Knights did go to Christendom and won 2 games, 9-5 and 16-12. So the Knights have had some luck in conference thus far, and of course come in today at 11-6. Whereas Christendom comes into this game at 9-8. So we have a big game here, just waiting for the coaches and the umpires to get everything settled, and we will play baseball. Well, we wanted to give just a quick shout out while we had a moment to our year-long sponsor, Weis Markets. You'll hear all about Weis Markets in our ad reads today, but you can always go to weismarkets.com for more information on any of the things that we're talking about today.
Another thing I'll add, Paul, we have a beautiful day here at City Island on FNB Field for a game of baseball. It's supposed to be in the 70s today this afternoon. We got clear skies here right now. We have a great crowd here for a Sunday afternoon. So if you are in the area or listening here on the stream, come by the FNB Field and see the game.
All right, we are finally going to get underway here at FNB Field. Leading off is Paul Amuso, coming into the season with a .451 average, 10 RBI, 23 hits and 51 at-bats, 582 on base percentage.
That is very impressive for a leadoff hitter and definitely key to get an offense going.
So just like Owen Zell does for the Knights,
and
first pitch swinging.
Good play. Good out. One pitch, one out, just like that.
And that's what we always like to see.
That's what the doctor orders. Can't ask for that for a quick start. But I will add, it was a good contact hit that went up the gap, so good play.
Smith Cole at short has flashed a hot glove all season long and is certainly one of his strengths. Smiley again, a really dominant pitcher thus far, and this is his 7th start in just the 18th game. But a lot of rainouts and things like that kept him on schedule so that he wasn't pitching more than once or twice a week.
Another con at the short again. Good pick.
Smith Cole.
Another nice play. And just like that, it's already 2 down for Christendom. So far, so good for the Knights on defense.
Matt O'Hara, 20 RBIs on the season, 23 of 57 with a .404 average. O'Hara is from Hershey, so you can tell he's
a
got
local
family over here. He's got a section of about 20 people here to see him today.
Another one in the short.
And this is going to be a tougher play.
Over his head.
Away.
So, they might get him here at 2, Paul. Oh.
Ball squirts away from Zell as that error on Smith Cole.
Third baseman number 22, Joe Romero.
They say they had a good throw to get him at second. It looked like he stumbled going around first, which helped the Knights, but just couldn't get the play at second to get him down.
So an error for the Knights from Smith Cole, who had 2 great plays, followed by one that just went well over Tanner McCoy's head there at first base. And can Smiley get out of this jam?
That looked like a good pitch on the outside. Smiley did not like that call either. It looked like it was good from here, Paul.
Hard not to be frustrated with the umpire situation coming into this game. That's low and inside, and now the last thing we want is for Smiley to get frustrated on the mound.
Absolutely. Do not want the ace of the pitching staff to get flustered early because you need him for the game.
Romero, a .400 average on the season, 24 hits in 60 at-bats, 28 RBI, Parker. Christendom has some offense.
They do. Oh.
That's out of play left.
Definitely some good contact on that swing.
Hit off the front of the new building to our left. That's going to house the Senators and their away locker rooms, as well as other amenities. So when you come over to FNB this year, you'll be able to see that.
We got a 2-1 count here.
He got him swinging on that slider.
Looked like a slider sweeper. Definitely had him fooled.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. sweeper off the plate, trying to get him to chase.
So now we got the count full.
Full count, 2 down, for top of the first. And that fastball is going to be the center, and that's going to get down to the gap.
That's going to be a run for Christendom.
A double there for Romero makes it 1-0.
Up again for Christendom, the catcher number 4, Peter Sullivan.
And because of the errors, that would be an unearned run, I would think, to Smalley. So let's see if he could get back into the composure and get out of this inning with only allowing just 1 run here. Limit the damage back at us.
So quickly a strike. And I'll tell you, as I mentioned earlier, the 9-5 and the 16-11 game, runs were scored during the first 2 matchups from these 2 teams. So trying to get out with only 1 in the first would be helpful, but still a runner in scoring position.
In the dirt.
One. Can Smiley get out of this inning? Just off the plate, 2-1.
I would think here, Paul, just try to get one over to play here, to just put it in play and let your defense work behind you here.
Sullivan hitting .375 on the season, 9-24 with 7 RBI. And that's going to be out of play. That'll hit off the roof behind us.
We got 2-2 count here. Got this in without any more damage.
The pitch from Smiley.
Good pitch. Fanned him
out.
with a fastball.
High cheese. Got him swinging, but the Knights do allow a run in that first inning on 2 hits. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning. It's 1-0 Christendom with the Knights coming up to bat.
Weis Markets proudly supports our military. As a thank you for our appreciation, Weis Markets offers a 10% discount on participating Weis brand products every Thursday to all active duty, reserve, retired, and military veterans. Thank you for your service. See store for more details.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back here with the bottom of the first.
For Central Penn College is the second baseman, number 11, Owen Zell.
Back here with you, Coleman and Parker Rose for the Nightly News. Matt O'Hara, the pitcher, has struggled thus far this season, and he's 1-0 with a 12 ERA in 5 appearances. has 12 innings pitched.
Well, with that, Paul, let's just hope the Knights could jump on him early and a good start with Owen Zell, who, when he gets on base, he could be a difference maker with his speed.
Parker, 19 runs allowed, 11 walks on 12 strikeouts in 12 innings, so it does seem to struggle with his command.
Well,
As Zell steps in.
Well, let's hope that's in the Knights' favors, but we got Owen Zell here down 0-1, but like I said before, getting him on base would be crucial because he has speed for days.
Zell, a .321 average, no home runs, 4 RBIs, has 8 steals, 17 for 53. Again, the stats that
it's coming back up the middle. He tripped a little bit out of the box, and it gets through for a hit. So getting Owen Zell on early is key, like I mentioned again. Let's see how long till he takes off here.
So again, all the stats I'm going to read today do not reflect the Friday game, but I do have the box score for that, so I'll try to let you know how everybody did in that contest. But to Parker's point, Zell usually is running on the base paths if he does end up on first.
And he's usually early aggressive in the count too, Paul, so we'll see how early he goes. He has a nice lead at first.
He's going to
got
try
a bunt.
bunt.
Not a bad idea there with the third baseman playing back. They didn't have bunt defense on, so they really got it down the line. Definitely could have been a close play at first. Definitely would have gotten Zell the second.
Weston Campbell, only 2 for 7 on the season, does have 4 steals.
Pickoff attempt. Oh, it goes back, and Zell's going to second. Zell's in there. He tried to get a throw over because he was shown to go over to the third, but goes back.
So Zell in scoring position on the error.
So that eliminates the bunt probably now, since I would get him to swing the bat here, Paul. Because a single should bring in Zell. Foul tip. And held on.
.66 degrees here at game time. You can see the flags blowing to the east. And
Zell goes.
For third.
And they got him.
Caught stealing from Zell. That is his third caught stealing on the season. And that was just a good pitch on almost like a pitch out. They got the strike call and the out. So erases that first runner.
I don't know how I felt about that call there, Paul. No outs and you're on second. I didn't know about stealing there. Goes down strike, swinging.
Back there from Central Penn College is the left fielder, number 34, David Thomas.
And thus far in the season, David Thomas has played extremely well. Has had a few big hits on the season in some of our broadcasts, but he's hitting .500, 23 of 46, 1 home run, 9 RBI, 5 stolen bases. So Thomas definitely one of the key players here for the Knights.
He's down a strike early here in the count. Inside.
So again, we mentioned the pitcher for Christendom from Hershey. And ended up going to school and all the way down in Front Royal, Virginia, where Christendom hails from. Right down 81. I've driven through Front Royal on numerous occasions. It's nice country down there. 2-1.
Back at us.
Great back at us.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the dirt, 3-2. Got to protect here with 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Inside. Knights get a runner on the board with a walk. Brings Tanner McCoy to the dish. And the pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. Looks like Tanner was taking all the way there. Pickoff attempt, but he's safe back.
McCoy had quite the game on Friday, as we mentioned earlier here, Parker, with the 5 RBIs. And he's going to serve that out of play. McCoy 4 for 5, 3 RBIs, a walk, 2 runs. So he was clearly one of the top performers Friday. But man, those one-inning ball games. They're really tough to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
What can McCoy do here?
Outside. Definitely another good outing for McCoy at the dish. Should be great for the Knights offense here today as well.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Knights trail 1-0. Catcher was set up in the other batter's box.
It looks like they're really worried about the runner at first, Paul. They want to try maybe do that catch and get him sleeping at first base.
Yeah, but 2 down, I'm not sure if I agree with that strategy.
I don't. But it could play in the Knights' favor. Low.
And another walk. So working the count here is McCoy.
But we also do know the Knights are aggressive on the base pads no matter what the count and outs.
No question about that.
The 3-2 again. Back. Oh, it goes away again.
That's 2 errors here in the first.
He might go to third here, Paul, because they didn't get the ball yet. Oh, nope.
I think with 2 outs, you don't
want to risk it.
You don't ever want to make the third out at third base.
If they say never make the first and third out at third. But it looked like they had a hard time finding it behind the tarp. That it could have been a look, possibly.
So that's what happens when you are aggressive, not even in stealing necessarily, but he had a big enough lead. And
hits someone.
Tanner gets jacked in the ribs on that hit by pitch. So back-to-back walks. Brings up Nic Joseph.
So a good RBI opportunity here for Nic Joseph, which he had in that 32 run game. He had a good spotlight in that game, Paul.
Well, Joseph, 3 home runs, 13 RBI, 10 walks, and a .472 on base.
Does he lead the team right now in RBIs, Paul?
Well, again, the
with
stats,
what we have,
the stats that I have, Joseph also had 3, so him and McCoy are tied for the team lead with 16.
Well, let's see if he can add on here to make it 7. We got a lot of it looks like they're getting the pitcher's head with the dancing on the base. Wow,
it was high. And
that was
off
high.
The plate.
It looked like it came into a wheelhouse, but we're back here. Probably a different look from a batter's view.
Really struggling to find the plate here is O'Hara. And that's high and tight.
You mentioned that he had a hard time with this command, Paul, when we got the
stats are bearing that out, Parker.
Yes. So we got a 3-0 count here. Looks like we're getting a mound visit here. The catcher's going to try to calm down his pitcher. You would think here, Paul, 3-0 early in the game, they would just have him take the pitch here.
First and second, absolutely. Load the bases for Brent. That makes sense to me, but again, maybe you want to be a little bit more aggressive here. Maybe you think you're going to get something to hit. So 3-0 to Joseph with runners on first and second. That's going to be off.
Oh.
Joseph thought the same thing we did, Parker.
It's funny you mentioned that, Paul, because the last few at-bats, the ump been calling that pitch a ball. It was in that same location, too.
The pitch, 3-1. Joseph, is that going to get down?
That's a
It
blooper.
is.
We're going to have a play at the plate.
There's one run in.
And the Knights tie it up. Here we, right, just like that, they answered back.
Single.
Now batting for Central Penn College is the third baseman, number 42, Kyle Brent.
A bloop in the blast, they call that, Paul. Play it where they ain't, and it came in the Knights' favor.
Pardon me, is 1-1. Thomas scored, McCoy to third, and Joseph on first.
And you would think they would have Joseph in motion here to get another runner in scoring position here. Here he goes. Joseph's going. He's in there. Safe at second.
Great steal, good aggressive play there. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever.
It looked like there was a little miscommunication here. It looks like the shortstop and second for Christian both were trying to field that ball too, Paul.
That should be one where there's really no excuse for that.
I agree. Communication is key in the game. Because I wonder if they didn't do that, I wonder if they would have had a chance.
Well, it's 1-1 here. Each team with 2 hits, and each team already an error in the first inning, and Christendom has 2. Curveball off the plate to Brent.
Thought that was a little low and a little outside, but I'm not an umpire.
Kyle Brent, 12 for 32, a home run, 7 RBI, and a 375 average on the season. And he gets the call there. Again, that outside corner is going to be one that's going to be interesting to watch.
And the way the ump is positioned, Paul, it looks like he's leaning to the left more. But I wonder if now the pitchers are picking up on that they're going to target that zone.
It's going to be down and away. Good block.
Because he went back to that same location again, just low.
Sullivan with a runner on third. That was a very key play that Sullivan was able to keep that ball in front of him.
A lot of real estate right up the middle of the gap here. Get one right up back.
The 2-2. And
Reaching.
Brent's going to send that out
They're
to
going to
the
look
right.
for it.
And that's going to
it's
hit
out
the
of
net.
play.
Oh, it cleared the net, got over into the 115 down there, if you're familiar with FNB Field. And if not, you should be. Come on out. Opening day, April 8th. SenatorsBaseball.com for tickets, and we certainly appreciate our partnership with the Harrisburg Senators and FNB Field.
2-2 is the count. Inside and high. So another 3-2 count. The 3-2 count been the Knights' favor so far here in the first inning. Let's see if it continues to help.
There the pitch, and that's high.
Oh,
That's going
it's
to
a
walk
ball,
the
the
bases
bases
loaded.
Now it's a good opportunity now for the Knights to really add on here. Cannot let this opportunity slip away.
Kaufman with 14 RBI, and McCoy also with 14 RBI. So Joseph now tied with them at 14 RBI, but Kaufman could take the lead here. He's hitting .302 on the season, does have those 14 RBI.
Out
Right
the
back at
middle.
box.
That's going to be a 2 runs at least.
The second run scored. That makes it 3-1 Knights.
Just like that, 2 RBIs, and the Knights are adding on here.
Batting the catcher, number 6, Tanner Boyd.
It's good play recognition. Play them where they ain't. Snuck through for 2 runs here and give a Knights a 3-1 lead. And like I mentioned earlier, give Smalley that lead early to help him settle down and be able to pitch the greatness that he can, that we've seen so far this whole season.
Might have heard a little pop for Boyd. He's from Cumberland Valley High School,
Another local.
from Mechanicsburg.
Curveball in there. Looked right over the plate, but looked like he was taken all the way there.
Kaufman also from Mechanicsburg, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, Gabe Kaufman from Nelson, PA.
Is that going to get down? Or is he... Oh, shortstop got
Catch
it.
there for the shortstop. But it's been a wonderful inning here for the Knights. They pushed 3 runs across and give Smiley a few runs to work with. So we'll go to the top of the second. It's 3-1 Knights.
Are you in a hurry and can't figure out what to have for dinner? Stop by your local Weis Markets where we offer quick, easy, and convenient meals for you and your family. Pick up a bucket of chicken or check out our Friday pizza deals. For every 5 pizzas you purchase, you get the 6th pizza for free. This includes both cheese and one-topping pizzas. Visit wisemarkets.com/deli for more information.
We'll take a short break. It's 3-1. Back here with you. FNB Field, Knights lead 3-1 against ESAC rival Christendom. Big strike. Thornberry steps in against Cameron Smiley. And quickly down 0-1. Thornberry, the freshman.
Another big cut.
Hitting .353 on the year. He's got 18 for 51 with 14 RBI, but he's got a .476 on base with 10 walks. And he's going to serve that into center.
They called for it. They got it.
Great catch.
Good communication out there, too. They said that the center fielder handled it and just one down here.
Nic Joseph, man in center field today. He's one of our better defenders.
Well, it's good when you have good real estate out there. Is Nic Joseph one of the Gold Glove candidates, Paul, that you mentioned?
I would certainly say so. Last year, of course, Owen Zell won. But definitely he's one of the keys up there. Really our whole entire outfield, not only with Kaufman, Thomas, and Joseph, have all really impressed this year.
And then with how good Smalley is, I'm guessing he would be your Cy Young candidate for right now for the award.
Well, there's still a lot of season left. Zerby has looked really good as well, so I don't want to give too much away here, Parker. We are at about the mid-season point, so I think it is fair to start talking about those types of things.
But it's good, though, that you have good consistency in your whole starting rotation and pitching staff and have good defense behind you to help pick you up. And the big cut, and it looks like it's a high fly ball.
This could be a little difficult. That's going to be just
and
off of our screen angle, but did come up with the catch.
And as you can see, the sun is starting to peek out a lot more now, so definitely a lot harder with the high sky and the sun. But over at first base, they made it look really easy over there, Paul.
So a big...
As we get MVP chance in the dugout on the Knights.
So Luke Roman, I'm looking here to see why he's got so many people cheering him. He's from Georgia, so unless those folks made the trek up from Georgia,
big cut.
Curious as to what's going on. But nonetheless, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the top of the second. No one on for Christendom.
Good pitch on the outside corner. Good location, too.
Brings the count to 1-2. And the pitch.
And got a really nice inning by Smalley there.
What a 1-2-3 inning for Smiley. as we go to the bottom of the second. Knights still hanging on to a 3-1 lead.
Save the date for Friday, May 9th at 6 p.m. as the CPC Film Series returns for the spring term. Associate Professor of Communications Michael Lear-Olympi presents the classic Western film High Noon. During his presentation, he will discuss the film's historical significance and its lasting influence on American cinema. Concessions will be available for a donation to the Knightly News Media Club.
Yeah, and we're always excited to talk more about the CPC Film Series. It's something that we do every quarter, and I've been honored to do it. We had Tom Davis on our last broadcast. He has done it multiple times, so always great that we get to plan those things. So we're looking forward to May 9th for something a little different.
When Tom Davis did his, I was actually part of the drama club, and we did a little bit of the skit as he was presenting it as well.
I recall that. That was one of the memorable, not that they're not all memorable, of course, but that was definitely one of the cool memories, I suppose you would say, that we have from the film series that continues to go strong even after all these years. I want to say we began in 2016, 2017, and it's still been going all this time.
Paul, you did a League of Their Own for one of them, correct?
I have done several. I did Big Lebowski.
Yep, the Big Lebowski.
I did League of Their Own. Of course, the most recent Groundhog Day.
Yep.
And if you recall, over COVID, I actually presented the movie that you starred in, Final Out.
I do remember that, yep.
As a film series.
15, Terrell Smith-Cole.
So we're down to the bottom of the order as Smith-Cole steps in. You know, Smith-Cole his glove has really been fantastic.
Yes, it has. He got the...
The interesting thing about Smith-Cole, unfortunately, 6 for 41 on the season, hitting 146, and gets that first strike call. So I'm sure Coach Stevens really does appreciate Smith-Cole's glove, but 146, certainly.
It looks like the umpires not being happy with the dugout.
Okay.
Central Penn was chanting, and I guess the umpire didn't like it.
No ball, one strike. And that's going to catch the outside corner. So definitely would like to see Smith-Cole get a couple hits here today.
Looks like Smith-Cole asked about where that last pitch was.
And that's right where we were questioning that earlier. Just off the plate.
And it was the same location he called that a ball. Definitely could be confusing for a hitter and a pitcher.
I think that second one, the last pitch, was just a little bit more outside than the previous. But they're really going to try to take it.
And foul tip hung on to.
Smith-Cole down on strikes. We get back to the top of the order for Zell.
Hitter, second baseman, number 11, Owen Zell.
Owen Zell, first time around, got on base with a single and got caught stealing at third.
One down here in the bottom of the second.
Zell, first pitch swing right through again. Zell's 2 for 2 for the day. He takes a long look around first and goes back.
Batting second to right fielder, number 21, Weston Campbell.
Campbell struck out in the first as the Knights sent 8 men to the plate. Almost batted around. Pushing 3 runs across.
And with Zell on, definitely going to put pressure more on the pitcher now as he dances around on the base pad. Shows bunt, outside. Looks like they were gearing for a pitch out there, Paul.
Well, they're aware of the scouting report on Zell, though it's fair to say I'd imagine most leadoff hitters are probably going to look to take second if they can.
And even it's definitely, the ump's calling time again.
So, looks like the ump is not pleased with the way that Central Penn is chanting in the dugout. So the ump called the third base coach over.
It's just interesting why the umpire is being bothered by that.
I've never seen anything like that before, personally. That ignited
And not just at the crowd. Zell shows he was going to go and they came back.
That brings the count to 1-1. There's one out as Zell.
Looks like they're
tries to
singling
measure
for
up
an
a
out
lead.
pitch here to try to get Zell going. Looks like Zell read that. I don't know about that call there, Paul. Looked a little off to me.
Well, what's interesting about it is that Zell was going and then stopped. That's something I don't really understand why they do.
I think he picked something up there, like they were signaling to go for a pitch out and he stopped. But I'm also with you, Paul. If you're going to commit to go, go.
One ball, two strikes here with one out in the bottom of the second. We'll be playing 2 7-inning doubleheaders. I did get word that because of the delay, and he's already halfway out of his stance.
And he pokes it through for a hit. That was good. Just good poke it right through there. Now the Knights have one in scoring position, first and second, and one out with David Thomas at the dish.
Thomas walked and scored back in the first inning as the Knights have 2 on base and only 1 out. And the cleanup hitter on deck for Tanner McCoy. So can Thomas get on base?
Inside.
Three-one here, bottom 2. And a lot of speed on the bags. If they can get something to the outfield, that's going to be popped
deep
a
up.
mile in
This-
the air.
This still could be a tough play.
Thomas pops up to the pitcher.
First baseman number 43, Tanner McCoy.
But McCoy still comes up to bat. Remember, he was hit by a pitch and scored back in the first. But he's coming with 2 men on base. A base hit should get another run in with Zell's speed on second.
And there's a lot of real estate in the left field there, Paul. They're right down the line here.
I'd say to the right side.
Same in the right side as well. And it looks shipped to the short. They go to second here.
The 6-4 putout means that's the end of the inning for the Knights, but the Knights still lead 3-1 as we go to the top of the third.
Get your favorite products at the best deals during Weis Market's 3-day sales. You'll always find the best deals on the weekends. Check weismarkets.com for more information on this week's sales.
We will take a short break. We'll be back here with I'm on now. Hold on. Back here with you, Paul Miller and Parker Rose, Nightly News Hall of Famer. It's 3-1 as Christendom comes up to bat. This will be number 2, Story for Christendom. He is the left fielder today. That's going to get
That's
right
gonna get
down the third
through.
baseline. And that should pretty easily be
No, it
2.
stays at-
Shockingly, he wasn't really hustling too much around the
He
bat.
was not.
Second baseman number
For
11,
where that ball was, you'd think 2 is almost all but a guarantee.
Maybe they were scouting of the arm in left field there that they didn't want to chance it. think it's too early, but again.
And Musso, top of the order, again hitting .451, leads the team in average with over 10 at-bats as well as on base percentage. So this is a guy that you definitely want to keep an eye on.
Good pitch by Smalley there.
At the knees. And this is a Musso. Coleman on deck.
That's for the check there, no swing, says the umpire at second base, between short and second.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And
Chopper back to Smalley. This could be 2. Little fumbled in the glove, but they got the lead runner.
They did get the lead runner though, Parker, so that's okay. Gus Coleman from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. No relation to Nightly News Hall of Famer Tyler Coleman. He's unaware of any family in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Nonetheless, Gus Coleman, one of the key cogs of the team. 28 RBIs, leads tied for the lead with Joe Romero, and he's hitting .467.
So they definitely have a lot of good RBI guys for Christendom there.
A lot of offense.
Looks like the ump's trying to call. Was the umpire saying Smalley wasn't set properly?
I'm honestly not sure.
Because it looks like the other ump told him something.
I mean, he pitches out of the stretch pretty much no matter what, so even if there's no runners on base. The 0-1 from Smiley. And there's going to be a shot. It's going to be in short left field and easy for Smith Cole.
I think the batter also put his hand up for time there, Paul. I don't think the ump seen it, and then Smalley pitched it there because he was going up the first baseline throwing his arms in the air.
And of course, we hear the contingent from Matt O'Hara's fans. Again, he is from Hershey, PA, right down the road. Interesting to know how someone from Hershey ended up at Christendom, but
good pitch.
He's a heck of a player. And he's pitching a decent game thus far. The errors for Christendom haven't done him any favors. The 0-1. Just off the plate. With that sweeper slider. One ball, one strike. There's going to be a shot through the hole. And they're going to hold it second. It doesn't appear to me, Parker, that Christendom is being very aggressive on the base pass.
No, they are not. I don't know if their mindset is it's still too early to take that chance. I know you're down 2 runs here in the top of the third, almost halfway through the game, because like you mentioned earlier, this is only a 7-inning game. So if you got the opportunity, you got to take advantage of try to be aggressive where you can.
And offered does Romero.
But it also could be, it's also like it shows that it's a respect to Central Penn's defense for having elite arms out there.
No question. And that is certainly one of our strengths this season, Parker, is our defense. Much more so than maybe in years past.
Two-0 count here for Smalley.
Smiley's got to buckle down here.
So far, overall, even though the error and a couple hits allow for hits, he's been pitching good, very well so far.
And
there's a pop-up. This should be the end of the half inning, and it is. Zell got it, no problem.
Well, it was an exciting half inning, but the Knights get out of it with no runs across nonetheless, and we'll go to the bottom of the third inning. Knights lead 3-1.
Are you searching for new recipes? Visit wisemarkets.com/recipes or download the mobile app to view thousands of options of new things to cook. With this large variety, there's sure to be a new meal your family will love. Cook something new with Weis Markets.
We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with you. Knights lead 3-1, going to the bottom. Back here with you, Paul Miller and Nightly News Hall of Famer Parker Rose.
Fielder number 13, Nic Joseph.
And of course, another Nightly News Hall of Famer here on PA, Brian Christiana today. It's just Hall of Fame Day, reunion day here at FNB Field for the Nightly News. As Nic Joseph steps in and singled and stole a base and scored.
I don't know about
back
that
in the
call.
first.
I will say, Paul, I don't like to be bad on the umpires, but these strike zone is definitely a questionable strike zone today.
And couldn't squeeze that one, although that one looked pretty close. I think if the catcher would have held on to that one, it possibly could have been a strike. But nonetheless, it's 2-1 to Nic Joseph. Fastball
Contact.
can't catch up to.
Two no outs to Joseph. And got him on the corner. Went down looking.
Again, that slider struck him out. Brent, the walk, and was stranded on third back in the first inning. One down for the Knights. Brent with nobody on base.
Off the plate, first pitch.
And there's a pop up. Looks like the right fielder's got it and brings it in.
Just like that, 2 down already here.
Roman with the catch out there and right.
Designated hitter number 31, Gabe Kaufman.
Kaufman singled and drove in 2 runs back in the first. That put us where we are right now, 3-1 for number 31.
Gabe, first pitch, swinging, pop up. Looks like the right fielder's coming to call off, and it's a collision. He dropped the ball. He's gonna run for days.
And Parker, you called it. That was just terrible communication between the 2 outfielders.
The right fielder was coming in, and I don't know, Paul. When the right fielder's coming in calling for it, if you're the second, you pull off. Yeah, that's his ball.
It's always the outfielder's ball in that situation, unless the second baseman adamantly calls them off.
And looking where the ball landed, Paul, that was halfway into the outfield. So that is definitely the right fielder's ball. That would be his real estate. Let's see if this error could pay in the favor to Central Penn. Because when the right fielder was coming in and it was dropping, it looked like it was going to be a tough play as it is. But that collision definitely helped the Knights here with a man in scoring position here with 2 outs. Let's see if the Knights could add on.
Already a 3rd error in 3 innings for Christendom. Boyd, 0 for 1, but he's got a ton of support here. And I'd love to hear the stadium go off for him if he could get a hit.
Another one in the dirt. And there's a nice gap here in the outfield. Even the right fielder's playing closer to right center rather than closer to the foul pole, Paul. So even if you sneak it in there, could really do some damage here for Knights.
Does get that inside strike call for a 2-1 count.
In the dirt. A 3-1 count.
And the Knights would love to extend this inning and at worst bring the top of the order back up in the 4th.
And that top of the order the whole year has been good for Central Penn too. A lot of good at bat. Chopper to second. Oh, bobbled a little bit. And we got it. Well, despite the error, Paul, it looks like Christendom got through unscathed.
Well, we will go to the top of the 4th inning. It is still 3-1, Knights clinging to a 2-run lead.
The Nightly News Media Club at Central Penn College is looking for new members. Members have the opportunity to get hands-on experiences writing for our student publication, The Nightly News, being a part of the Nightly News podcast, and being a part of our sports live stream broadcast. Email Club Advisor Professor Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
That brings back some old memories, Parker. I recall you were on the cover several times during your tenure with the Nightly News, and certainly on the Nightly News podcast a number of times as well. You're a Hall of Famer. So, Parker, I will be telling you, we will be announcing the 2025 Hall of Famers in the coming weeks.
Well, I'm excited to hear who will be the recipients of the next class of the Nightly News Hall of Fame. I'm sure whoever you have decided and the pick from are definitely well deserving of the Hall of Fame knob.
And we certainly hope to see you there that day. We want to try to get all of the Hall of Famers to come back to campus for a little soiree we have planned.
I will for sure will love to make time for it because it's always a great event, and then it's always good to get on the podcast to talk about the experiences and also get to just see other Hall of Famers and other members of the club who, like what Brian mentioned on Brian's podcast, you guys mentioned about all the success the Nightly News Media Club has had past, present, and for the future.
Well, we're going to go back here to the top of the 4th inning. We'll have Parker here for this half inning, and then we'll hear from Tyler, and then we'll get Parker back on for the second half of the next game. Sullivan steps in. He was struck out back in the first. Boyd couldn't quite squeeze that one, but a ball nonetheless.
It was off the plate, but there was a lot of movement on that pitch there, Paul.
68 degrees today. And hoping it hangs on. There's a shot to the gap.
That might be a tough play. He made it, though. Good play out in the outfield.
David Thomas.
I will add to this point of the game, Paul. Despite the errors on the board for Christendom, both pitchers pitched pretty well to this point of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely say for O'Hara, those 3 errors did him no favors.
I would think out of all the 3 runs tonight, he maybe gave up 1 or 2 of them. Maybe just one.
Yeah. Thornberry offered there and got a strike.
Good pitch. That was a good pitch, too. Good off-speed. And
Thornberry flew out to center. There's a shot. Could that get over Zell's head? It does. Just served it on into the outfield. Over Zell's head for a base hit.
Up and down for Christendom, first baseman, number 24, Edmund Thomas.
Edmund Thomas popped out to first back in the 2nd inning.
Smiley looking at the sign, makes sure he's on the same page with his catcher. There's a lead at first. Smiley takes a look and he delivers, reaches through. This is going to be a tough play. Makes it.
Brent at least knocked it down, which is a step in the right direction.
And even if he would have came up with it, Paul, I think that would have been a tough play at first regardless. But good awareness at short to just hold on to the ball and eat it and not risk throwing an error away.
So I will say, Christendom started off the season really hot. In fact, they'd won 7 of their first 9. But since then, Parker,
good pitch,
including 2 losses to Central Penn, has lost 5 of their last 7 contests.
So Christendom is definitely hungry for a win here to help salvage their chances at the Small College World Series. Even either back at us, foul.
So that's going to be 2 strikes as Thornberry on first.
Two men on with 1 out. 0-2 count to Smalley here. Smalley looking for an out off the plate. Still in the driver's seat, though. 1-2. I think he's trying to pitch low to try to get the inning double play.
The 1-2 from Smiley. Just high. 2-2.
I will say, Paul, that's probably definitely a tough pitch to lay off on 2 strikes if you're a hitter. Obviously, they tell you got to be protective with 2 strikes.
Well, Roman struck out back in the
3-2.
second.
So Smalley goes from 0-2 to now the hitter's count of 3-2. Three-two delivered. Foul bat.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Roman and then Story. Roman struck out. Story singled in the third. So can the Knights get out of this inning?
Big contact going down the left field line. Foul.
Cleared the netting. It's definitely, from your perspective, it should look a lot different with the netting down both the first and third base lines. And has made us have to change some of the way we do things in terms of our first base and high home view cameras.
And Smalley got the strikeout. Good pitch on the inside corner.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Roman.
Left
But
fielder, number 2.
Got to give Roman credit. He did battle that at bat for sure.
And Story singled the lead off the third, but was thrown out on fielder's choice. Two down here for the Knights.
It's throwback. He got him. They called him safe. No,
McCoy is down. They had him dead to rights, I thought, and then he was just plowed over at first.
I'm just ready to add, Paul. I thought they got him, but did the ump call him safe for interference getting back to the bag?
I'm not entirely sure, and Coach Stevens is asking the same question. But McCoy is still down.
He's getting it. Might have been going back on the slide, might have got him, but he's walking out. It appears to be okay, which is always a good sign.
Looks like he's favoring his right leg.
He's stretching now. He looks like he's okay. It's good that he's okay.
Well, that was interesting because I thought for sure he had the out.
Well, now we got the umpires talking it over here to see what's going on. Now, for our fans watching on YouTube, we do not have the power benefit of replay, so we cannot challenge.
So they thought they had Thomas.
It was for sure a good look, Paul. I definitely, from my angle, I thought they had him at first for the pickoff, for the ending inning pickoff.
Well, nonetheless, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 down.
And that's another point. The ump's on the other side of the diamond. How was he able to call it from there?
Well, that's just kind of how things go. I mean, they have to call it. It's not they're not in the best position, but they're not going to have a 3 or 4 man umpire.
And that's the thing. There's only 2 umpires that are in these games, Paul.
2 runners on with 2 outs.
Back at us. 1-2's to count. Just focus on the runners here and get out of the inning. And the hitter. Excuse me, not the runner. The hitter.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Story.
Pop up.
There's a shot to right.
Calls him off and got him out.
All right. All right, we're going to go here to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's still a 3-1 contest.
Ever consider working on campus? Visit the financial aid office to learn about work study opportunities for students. Positions are available across campus, the front desk, the learning hub, athletics, and more. Students must have been enrolled for at least one full term and be in satisfactory academic standing. Contact Amy Lloyd in the financial aid office for more information.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be back here at the bottom of the fourth. Knights still lead 3-1. Paul Miller back here with you.
15, Terrell Smith Cole.
Of course, there's Brian Christiana and Nightly News Hall of Famer Tyler Coleman joins us here in the booth. It's a pleasure to have you here, Tyler. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be back here with you, Paul. It was a lot of fun getting to sit here and listen to you and Parker for the first half of the game, so I'm excited to join here for the second half.
Well, we got ourselves a ball game here. It's 3-1, all of those runs scored in the first inning, and zeros ever since.
Yeah, I'd like to get some offense going here. Like you said, Paul, all the scoring in the first inning, so pretty much turned into a ball a little bit outside. Another pitch fouled off back behind us. There we go. Up the middle. Second baseman makes the play. And got him. Second baseman, nice play there, having to charge in on the ball. Was able to make good throw to first base just in time.
Number 11, Owen Zell.
Back to the top of the order, Zell 2 for 2. Had a caught stealing in the first. Has not yet scored a run, but is 2 for 2 nonetheless. Ball off the plate.
That was a big decision that he made in that first inning. Got thrown out at third, potentially cost the Knights another run.
Well, he's, an 80% base runner on a season, so.
Yeah, you think at that point, coaches let you make your own decision.
I would imagine so. And honestly, it was just the pitch that actually came. It was the perfect pitch for him to get thrown out on. The catcher was already halfway out of his crouch.
Oh, yeah, it was a good throw to third base, too.
Zell takes strike 2. Well, those clouds are starting to roll in. There was and is a potential for rain later on this afternoon, so we're going to have to see how quickly this game moves. It's already moving pretty quickly as Zell stays alive. Tyler, you've gotten to watch most of this game. What are some things that you've taken note of?
Well, definitely a little bit of sloppy play out there, especially on Christendom's side. Especially the last couple innings would have been nice if the Knights could have taken advantage of that a little bit more. But also been some iffy calls, I think, from the home plate umpire. So as a hitter, you got to maybe expand your strike zone a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty much a pitching duel since the first inning.
Really impressed with O'Hara. He's had a tough season statistically thus far. But 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. As Zell is retired. And Campbell 1 for 2 with a single. Just low. 2 balls and no strikes to Weston Campbell, the freshman. Ball outside. Campbell from Burnville, Pennsylvania, the outfielder, the freshman. That's another town can't say I'm entirely familiar with.
Oh. Gave him a strike on that one.
3-1 with 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
There you go.
Walked him.
Take runners any way you can get them.
And the 3, 4, 5 hitters are coming up.
Got the right part of the order to come up, so try to score a couple runs or so.
Thomas walked and popped out to the pitcher. 0 for 1 on the day, but definitely one of our premier hitters. Slider catches the corner.
So are you able to differentiate between the slider and the sweeper?
Sweepers are more vertical, whereas the slider has more north to south drop. They're also, honestly, variations of similar pitches. I mean,
Yeah.
So and without knowing everyone's arsenal, it is speculation on our part. But we're doing the best we can with what we have. Now, certainly in the bigs, you can certainly tell the difference between some of those pitches because they have, all types of AI tools and analytical tools that you're able to basically read it as soon as it comes out of the pitcher's hand for the commentators. We don't have that. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here for David Thomas with a runner on first. And he took strike 2. And now Thomas. I don't know if he was just looking fastball there. That one was right down the middle.
Yep. Might have caught him looking.
The 2-2.
Sometimes as a hitter, that tends to happen, can guess too much.
And that slider is going to fill up the count. What can Thomas do here? Full count, 2 outs. Campbell goes, and that's going to be skied in the infield.
Well, looks like we won't be seeing any miscommunication on that play.
All right, that's going to do it for the bottom half of the 4th. The Knights do get a runner on, but leave them stranded, and we'll go to the top of the 5th with the Knights leading 3-1.
Central Penn students and alumni have free access to Handshake, which is your career management platform to help you discover new career paths and find amazing jobs and internships. We understand students can be busy, so we pre-populated some basic information on your profile for you. Go ahead, claim your account by clicking on the tile at My Central Penn, downloading the Handshake app to your phone, or going to joinhandshake.com.
And of course, one of the things that you got to do when you were still at Central Penn is you got to work with the Career Services Office and Steve Hassinger and Kristen Fike. Any memories of that experience?
Well, I did really enjoy my time working there with Steve. Him and I remember, would always have good conversations and banter about our sports teams. And, I got to intake a lot of valuable knowledge from them that I got to learn moving forward.
Well, and of course, Steve and Kristen still think very highly of you. One of those folks that we cared so much for. We wish we could have just failed them their last term, so they hung around an extra term or two. But of course, that would be unbelievably unethical. It's just a joke I like to make. we're always happy to see you guys finish up and move on to the next thing. And of course, Tyler, you're doing all kinds of wonderful things for yourself in addition to working for PCN and the Pennsylvania Lottery.
Yeah.
You also have a great position with Ross.
Yes, Paul. I work in HR with Ross, so that's my full-time job. And then on the part-time, when I have some extra time available, I work at PCN as a production assistant, and work with WITF, working the Pennsylvania Lottery as well.
Well, we are so happy to have you on this Sunday afternoon game. Great to call some Sunday afternoon baseball. It's actually our first and only Sunday game all season, as Smiley misses with the slider.
It's a beautiful day to be here at the ballpark. Not too hot, nice breeze going.
So Christendom back to the top of the order with Amuso. Reached on a fielder's choice back into third. And, you know, we just got done talking about this, but it's been 3-1 since the first inning. And it's been a couple runners here, a couple runners there, but no one can get pushed across. The 1-2. And he
There we
struck
go.
him out.
Yep. Took that one right down the middle.
Struck him out looking on the slider.
Number 7, Gus Coleman.
And we mentioned this earlier, but no relation to Tyler Coleman.
Not that I know of.
Gus Coleman has had a heck of a season, though. We will give him all the credit in the world here. Coleman, 467, Tyler, with a .515 on base percentage, 28 RBI, 28 hits, and 60 at-bats.
Yeah.
That's
really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely impressive numbers, but so far, Coleman has not done any damage.
You got to take some pride in that if you're helping keep one of the better players in the opposing lineups off the bases.
So really tough play out there for Campbell, but that's his second nice play of the game. So
Pitcher 16, Matt O'Hara.
one thing we have seen in previous games, Tyler, is that a lot of the outfielders, I don't know if it's just playing here at FNB, but are breaking back first when it's in front of them, and they're making relatively routine plays look a little bit more difficult than they probably actually are.
Well, I mean, I will. My opinion on that is, when I played baseball, I was an infielder. I never played much outfield, but it's easier to break back and then to come back in if you need to, rather than take 2 or 3 steps in and then be like, oh, you know, the ball's over my head. So
Smiley's going to have to get over to the bag, and he does. The 3-1 putout retires Christendom in order. We will go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Knights still clinging to a 3-1 lead.
the Central Penn College app was designed with students in mind. The app brings the school to your fingertips and enables you to connect with the Central Penn community. Stay on top of your events, classes, and assignments with the built-in calendar function and get notified of important dates, deadlines, and security announcements. Make friends, ask questions, and access campus resources at any time. Search Central Penn College in the App Store.
We will take a short break and be back with the bottom of the 5th inning. The game.
All right.
First baseman number 43, Tanner McCoy.
We don't want to be on that.
Tanner McCoy takes the steps in. He was hit by a pitch back in the first and is 0 for 1. Had a slight injury scare there in that really odd play.
Yeah, at first base a couple innings ago.
Yeah, and he seems no worse for wear, but when he got up, he was definitely limping. So we're only just assuming that there was an obstruction call because he was clearly back in time to get that out. But nonetheless,
Well, it's good to see that he was able to stick around in the game.
yeah, he's certainly one of our best players. There's a shot. This could be close. And he airmails that. Oh, wow. But it comes right back, and fortunately Tanner does not advance. That was going
That's
to be
happened.
a tough play anyway.
That's happened a few times on the Christendom side, especially on they've had a couple pickoff attempts where they've overthrown the first baseman as well.
Well, Smith Cole also did that
Center fielder number
back in the
13,
first.
Nic Joseph.
Now they're going to
But
give
if
him
you're-
an error there.
If you're Central Penn here, you'll take the runners any way you can get them.
So E6. I will say this season the official scorer is much more happy to give errors out this year than official scorers in the past. I will say that. Nonetheless, that's the fourth for Christendom as that ball way outside. So in addition to the offensive prowess, Tanner McCoy has stolen a couple of bases this season.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be interesting to see how he moves on the bases here after that injury we were talking about.
Of course, Tanner McCoy, the game-winning RBI of the ESAC championship game last season. One of the most exciting games I've ever got to broadcast in my career. 1 ball, 1 strike. McCoy holds on first. Nic Joseph singled, had 2 RBIs, and stole a base in the first. Struck out in the third. Slider catches the corner. Brings the count to 2-2.
If you're the Knights here, knowing Christendom only has a couple more innings to bat, it'd be really nice to add or put some more runs on the board.
No
Try to
question.
expand that lead.
2-2. And that's going to be to right. That's deep. And that's all the way to the wall.
There we go.
McCoy had to hold. He's putting on the brakes.
Oh, now he's coming home. There we go.
So what happened there was McCoy got to third.
Baseman number 42.
The center fielder, instead of coming home, went to second. As soon as McCoy saw that, he immediately broke for home. And then Nic Joseph, the RBI, made it to second and drove in a run, making it 4-1.
Smart base running. Able to put another run on the board for the Knights.
And that's massive.
Joseph getting into second base, too, is huge as well with no outs.
So Brent has an opportunity to do something. Walked and flew out to right. 0 for 1 thus far. And that error is going to come back to bite Christendom. And this is going to be a tough play in the hole.
Oh, there we go. Play at third. Nope. And the ball gets away there, too.
Joseph scores.
And just like that, it's just 2 more runs for the Knights. 5-1.
Designated hitter number 31, Gabe
I mean, you
Coleman.
take the chance there, making them make the play at third base, and fortunately it worked out for the Knights.
So the 6-4 put out, but Joseph booked home on the throw to first, and while the ball got away behind him.
Seems like Christendom's throwing the ball all over the field here today.
5 errors.
Yeah.
Five one here, bottom 5. This is going to be another tough
one.
play.
Yep.
And he called him
He's
safe.
off. Yep. Yeah, it looked like first baseman's foot was off the bag. I give the shortstop credit. That was a tough play. He had to stay back and wait for the hop. So even having to wait for the hop, I mean, he still made it a close play.
No outs still. 2 runs in. Kaufman can run. Kaufman 5 steals, 3 times caught stealing, so 5 of 8. I would imagine he's going to be off here. Back in safely over to first is Kaufman.
Looks like Christendom's expecting him to take off here too.
That would have been the pitch to take off on. But 2 balls, no strikes, and it is O'Hara. I don't see anyone warming up in the Christendom bullpen, so this is O'Hara's game for the time being. The 1-0. Just gets the call. That inside corner, well, the outside corner, depending on the case. The right side of the plate, from our perspective, has been subject of contention today with the types of calls. It's going to be high.
Well, and to the point Parker made earlier too, is you see the umpire leaning more to the right side. So if the pitch is on the left side of the plate, you don't think he's going to have as clear of a view of it. But
2 balls, 1 strike to Boyd. And low. The 3-1. Inside, walked him. Yeah, I would be really surprised if we don't see somebody warming up.
I have to imagine it's not easy as a manager when you have double headers like this, knowing how you got to limit and manage your pitchers. Because it looks like we're going to get a mound visit here with 2 runners on for Central Penn.
We're going to take a back here with you. Paul Miller and Tyler Coleman. Knights lead 5-1, only 1 out for Smith Cole. We talked a little bit about Smith Cole's struggles at the plate, but can he drive in a key run here to extend this lead for Central Penn? Kaufman on second, Boyd on first, so Kaufman has some wheels. And Smith Cole offers the bunt. Comes up empty.
Curious to see if we could see a double steal here. Central Penn seemed to not be too hesitant trying to take bags earlier in this game.
Certainly with a 4-run lead, I think now might be the time, especially with only 1 out. Smith Cole tries to offer. Great
There's a
bunt.
nice, yeah.
does advance those runners.
That's a nice job. You don't see bunts like that too much in today's game. So nice job to get both those runners in a scoring position.
And now we're just a base hit away from Owen Zell for really opening this game wide open. Zell is 2 for 3, 2 singles. Got caught stealing in the first, singled and was stranded in the second and grounded out to second base back in the fourth. There's a shot that's going to be out of play though. Hits up off that netting about 3/4 of the way up.
So I believe they expanded the netting here.
Yep,
the whole way down.
Yep, they went the whole way down. Both
foul poles.
Yeah, both foul poles when you come here. They'd always had this behind, home plate, but down, once you got into the bleachers down there, it was not down that far. Two balls, one strike to Zell. Can Zell not get a run here? Maybe the question is, can O'Hara get out of this inning? Zell is the 7th man to come to the plate.
Christendom showing a lot of confidence leaving him in right now.
And there's no one in the bullpen, to my earlier point. Almost hits him. Another walk.
It's going to load up the bases.
Right fielder number 21, Weston Campbell.
And a ball into the gap here could really break this open, clear the bases.
Weston Campbell 1 for 2 with a walk. And you'll see Zell taking a massive lead at first. No one's holding him on. So, Tyler, that's an excellent comment, is that if this does go to the gap or does go down the line, this is most likely clearing the bases. Yep. 2 balls and no strikes. O'Hara really needs this out. Crucial pitch here for O'Hara. Ooh, inside.
Almost hit him. Yep, take the hit and get the run with it.
The same thing happened to Tanner McCoy in a game last week, and they said he didn't do enough to get out of the way of the pitch. And walking in a run. Christendom has to do something here, Tyler.
Yeah, to your point, it's surprising to not even see anybody up in the bullpen yet. I understand you have a second game here to play, but if you were trying to keep your team in this first one to give your offense a chance, I don't see how this is doing it.
And this does look like there will be a pitching change here. It's 6-1 with 2 outs. Looks like number 24 going into the game for Christendom. Number 24 is Edmund Thomas. Edmund Thomas, one of the better pitchers coming out of that bullpen for Christendom. Thomas has allowed 16 strikeouts in 10 innings. In 5 appearances, he's 1-0. He started 2 games. Again, arguably the best stats of anyone on this team across the board. So, and he's a lefty. And he's a tall gentleman as well, so it'll be interested to see on how this goes. But we're going to take a short break as the Knights are still threatening with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the All right, back here with you. Paul Miller, Tyler Coleman, 6-1. Knights have tacked on 3 with the bases loaded. And David Thomas. Thomas 0 for 2 on the day, but did walk and score back in the first inning. As we mentioned, the new pitcher, number 24, the freshman Edmund Thomas, 4th on the team in innings. 2nd in strikeouts. So he has got some, appears to be electric stuff here.
Those first couple pitches look pretty good. Central Penn really trying to break this game open. They scored 3 runs, but they always take more.
And you mentioned off air, it's got to be tough for Thomas to come in, already playing in the field, so he didn't have any time to even warm up.
Yeah, you get so many pitches, I think, to warm up out there on the mound, but it's not really it's hard to get the same feel when you're warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't gotten a strike yet. So again, we'd mentioned based on the statistics, he's a pretty good control pitcher, but we're not seeing that.
You know, to that point too, imagine coming in cold with the bases loaded. It's a tough situation.
And there's that first strike from Thomas. And ump says it's 3-2, so 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count with 2 outs. And Thomas just gets a piece of that. Six to 1. The Knights have pushed 3 across here. Full count. And right down the third baseline, and O'Hara, what a play. O'Hara helps out his own cause, as they say. Gets out of that inning with a big out.
Gets taken out of the game and gets first next ball hit right to him.
All right, well, that's going to do it. The Knights still lead 6-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning.
Central Penn College Student Government Association is a voice for all students, those living on campus, those studying online, and those returning to continue their education. SGA is here to make your time at Central Penn College the best experience possible. You can contact SGA with any questions, comments, or concerns by emailing sga@centralpenn.edu.
Take a short break. It is 6-1. Back here with you, Paul Miller, Tyler Coleman. 6-1 with that big 3-run outburst. Only 6 more outs for the Knights. And this will be a victory. Smiley still pitching extremely well, but he'll have to deal with 4, 5, 6 of the Christendom lineup here in the top of the 6th.
Smiley getting into the 6th inning, definitely helping his teammates out here for the second game, at least pitching-wise.
Fastball high. Smiley does have 2 complete games on the season. 3-1 record in 6 starts, 34 innings pitched. So he can go the distance. I would say at this point it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, he's on his way. He ends up giving up 1 run in 7 innings. I'd say that's pretty impressive.
100%. Now, I did get the message from Athletic Director Casey Hicks that there's going to be a minimal break, and that is deep. I think Romero didn't quite hit the wall, bounces off the wall, and Romero got all that one, but just a little empty.
Well, not the start you're looking for there if you're Smiley, but you can still work around this. Like, to your point, middle part of the lineup, they're going to be tough.
So back to my earlier point, we had talked to Athletic Director Casey Hicks. Because of the delay, there is going to be a minimal break between games. I don't know exactly what minimal means, but I'm assuming less than 5 minutes because we did get an hour plus late start here today, and there's another shot to deep center. Ranging back is Joseph. And what a throw.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. What a throw to third base, though.
I mean, Joseph's got to be beside himself here. On the sac fly from Sullivan. Smith Cole saying he left early. And Smith Cole still sort of beside himself here after that play.
That was
Nonetheless,
all the way out in the outfield.
Romero at third with 1 out. For Thornberry. Singled and was stranded at second in the 4th. Big cut.
It's situations like that where, you know, you kind of touched base on it earlier. They could maybe have a 3-man crew. Would be so much more helpful than having the one umpire out there trying to watch 3 bases.
I think these guys are probably used to it, and honestly, in most other levels that you see here, this is going to be a tough play for Campbell. But they're going to go home, and here they come. Standing up. Makes it 6-2. But Tyler, that's why it's also important that we scored those 3 runs last time.
But back to the point you were making, you know, with the 2 umpires, that you see close plays like that, and you don't want to see, you know, if he throws the runner out, you want to see him get his credit for it, you know. But
Thomas steps in, who came in to pitch 1 for 2. No, I think what I was getting at is I think a lot of games at this level only run with a 2-umpire crew. And it's not ideal, but just financially speaking, what needs to happen. Lazy pop fly out to Thomas, ends the inning. The Christendom Crusaders add a run, but it's 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. We're going to take a Back here with you, bottom 6. Knights only 3 outs away from closing this game out as Thomas is on the mound for McCoy. McCoy reached base on an error and scored, was hit by pitch and scored, so is 0 for 1 with 2 runs. Six to 2, Knights lead. Both teams with 7 runs, but I think the difference here, Tyler, is the 5 errors for Christendom.
Definitely, those errors are playing in a role in the Knights' runs. But like we've been saying, you take runs any way you can get them.
Sure.
Christendom wants to throw the ball around all over the field. You let them.
The 2-0 is 3-0, and Thomas has really struggled. We'd said about how he was one of the bright spots on the Christendom rotation, but today has been a struggle.
I also wonder too if it plays a mental factor in one game you start, the next game you're relieving, and it's hard to get in the right the frame of mind.
That's a very
when you're
interesting
constantly
point.
going back and forth. Yeah.
Three balls and 1 strike to the cleanup hitter McCoy. There was a fastball that Tanner was looking for.
Coming back. Watch out.
Three balls, 2 strikes, full count to McCoy. And he was looking for that one, but pops it out to the right fielder. And makes the catch. That's Roman out there in right field. Joseph to the plate. Joseph, 3 RBI and is 2 for 3 with a steal. Also scored 2 runs, and certainly at this point, the inside track for the Nightly News Player of the game.
Yeah. It's having a great game so far. It'd be nice to see him get on one more time here.
The pitch, and down and inside to Joseph. Again, when we're out of here, we're gonna get out of this broadcast quickly because it is going to be a very brief turnaround time between these 2 contests. I would imagine, based on where we are now, a 4:30 start time would seem most plausible. It's just an estimate. Outside, runs the count to 3-0, and again, Thomas in the hole, 3-0 to back-to-back hitters. And Joseph takes the walk.
There you go. Joseph on base 3 times today.
Brent 0 for 2 with a walk. Just outside.
He does seem a little erratic so far. Kind of all over the place right now, not hitting the strike zone very much.
To 1-0. And I mean, it is 4-run deficit. I mean, he would love to tack on at least 1 more.
Yeah, the game's not over by any means yet.
Do you send Joseph here with 1 out? And Brent to deep, left, right center, but the catch is
He dropped it again. And it's back to the point we've been making. Just the mental errors out there by Christendom.
E8
Designated hitter number 31, Gabe Kaufman.
puts Brett on. Brent for Kaufman. Kaufman has reached base on errors 2 different occasions and has a single and 2 RBI. That's error number 6 for Christendom.
And then you look up at the scoreboard and you think, man, if you don't have that many errors, the Knights would not have 6 runs.
There is no question about that. This is just really, I mean, this has been a pretty close game. Just Christendom has been on the wrong side of a lot of these, poor defensive plays.
I have to imagine as a pitcher, that's frustrating too. You get the pop fly and see your outfielders drop the ball.
And here's another pop fly that's going to be trouble. And does make the catch there for 2 down. Again, another really tough play. Kaufman pops out.
I think you're kind of at a point where anytime the ball gets hit out there, you got to be ready to run because it might drop.
So Boyd, a switch hitter, I believe the first time we've seen him at right-handed this season. Lots of fans of Tanner Boyd. So Boyd from Mechanicsburg.
Hey, Tanner.
Lots of other individuals from Harrisburg.
A lot of local recruiting.
Absolutely. There's a Halifax, a Hanover, Lewisberry. Only one from Mechanicsburg, though, and that is Tanner Boyd.
Hey, 6.
Boyd 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Has a chance here to knock it a run. And there's a shot again to center. Another tough play. And he gets out of the inning unscathed. We are going to go to the top of the 7th inning. The Knights hang on to a 4-run lead.
Calling all gamers, Central Penn College was recently accepted into the National Association of Collegiate Esports. We are now a part of the association that boasts more than 130 schools and over 3,000 student athletes. If you have any interest in the Central Penn Gaming Club or the esports program, please reach out to club advisor Donnie Lewis.
We will take a short break and we'll come here to watch Smiley close out this contest. It's 6. Back here with you, Paul Miller, and Nightly News Hall of Famer Tyler Coleman. Parker Rose will be back here with us in the second game. Knights lead 6-2. Can Smiley get out of this game? He only needs 3 outs.
And there's a quick first pitch swinging.
And Roman gets the single. So first batter reaches base.
Not an ideal start here, but you look to try to get the double play here on the next batter. So it looks like we're going to have a mound visit.
All right, that mound visit has completed. A runner on first base is number 10. Eddie Mankey.
Go, Tanner.
And Story singled and was thrown out at second and popped out to the right fielder. And here's a shot to left. Right at him. Thomas with the put out and quickly one down.
Yeah, nice to get that quick out, bounce back after giving up the single.
Well, in all honesty, I would love to, obviously we want to take nothing away from Cam Smiley, who's pitched an incredible game, only allowing 2 runs and 8 hits. But we got to give the player of the game, the Weis Knightly News Player of the Game, to Nic Joseph. 2 for 3 on the day, 3 RBIs, a steal, and reached base on a walk. So congratulations to Nic Joseph. Of course, an honorable mention goes to Cameron Smiley, who has pitched an incredible afternoon of baseball here, Tyler. But congratulations go out to Nic Joseph.
Nic Joseph definitely played a key role in helping the Knights get some offense going. So congratulations to him.
Nic Joseph, the Weis Knightly News Player of the Game. 2 more outs and the Knights will get out of this contest with a victory. Again, we will be back here with you as soon as we can. I wouldn't anticipate more than a 10-minute break here in the second game. And just off the plate, Smiley thought he had him rung up. Amuso 0 for 2. Even with his gaudy stats. And that is going to be out of play.
Nice ground ball double play here to end the game would be nice.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Smiley. And just off the plate. So he runs the count full.
The last thing you want to do here is walk them and put 2 guys on. Don't want to give Christendom any life.
And we're back to the top of the order, so he's going to have to deal with 2, 3, 4 after Amuso. And that is going to be out of play, still full. Knights lead 6-2. The 3-2. And he struck
There you
him
go,
out.
nice. Caught him looking.
Massive, massive out for Smiley.
One more out to get here before the Knights can wrap up this victory.
Batting center number 7, Gus Coleman.
There are 2 down. We are to the final out. Can the Knights close it out? And there is a pop to right field, and that should do it. And that is it. Weston Campbell will retire on the side.
12 game votes for the final score of Central Penn College 6. Christendom 2. Reminder fans, the concession stand is open. Concession stand is open.
All right.
Sit back, relax, and you're ready for game 2.
Well, Tyler, we're going to sign off here. Again, thank you so much for joining us. You'll be back here for the beginning of the next game, and then we'll get Parker back on. And we can talk a little bit more in the next contest about some reflections for the first game. But that is going to do it for us. Congratulations to the Knights, 6-2, and the Nightly News Player of the Game, Nic Joseph. We'll see you next time.